Round two is about the ecosystem. Roosevelt Row is the heartbeat of Phoenix creative and entrepreneurial community. Our next conversation is with two leaders who are building Black-owned businesses right here on the Row. Ali from Archwood Exchange, raise your hand, Ali. And Darius from Vital Lounge. Now, let's talk about what it takes to hold the line, okay? So, I want to talk to you gentlemen about how you are able to build and sustain Black-owned businesses on Roosevelt Row. Because I got to tell you, Ali, you and I have been having these conversations for years. And when I drive down Roosevelt Row, I feel a sense of pride surging through my body. And that is the result of the work that you guys are doing. But I can't even begin to imagine what it must have been like to arrive at this point. So how can we support you? Tell us about the journey. How do you sustain and continuing to make us proud right here on Roosevelt Row?
Okay. Peace, everybody. Thank you to Jocelyn and the whole team for pulling this event together and for inviting us out to share, whatever nuggets we have. So when I hear the question, what does it take to sustain? What does it take to be in a location like Roosevelt Row? High traffic, high profile, tourist destination. What does it take to get there, right? It's two answers to that, right? There's an easy answer, right? It just takes a lot of money, right? That's just plain and simple, right? I rent at Strong Wood $4,000 a month, right? It takes money to get there, right? But I'm gonna answer from the perspective of somebody I'm coming from, that didn't have a lot of money. It takes everything else. Right? Literally everything else except money. It takes time, it takes luck, it takes hard work, it takes community support. But in addressing it in a way where there's takeaways, I'll focus in on three specific things that were part of our story. It takes starting. It takes the first step. We didn't start on Roosevelt. We started at Archwood, selling hats at a table, selling hats out the trunk. And then we moved to selling hats out of grassroots bookstore, putting hats on bookshelves. And then we went to Grand Avenue into a little small boutique where we were paying $600 a month. But starting, a lot of times we don't start because we want it to look a certain way. We worried about what other people think, what the image is gonna be. But starting, the sooner you start, the sooner you learn. The more you fail, the more you fall, the more you get up, the stronger you become. And so starting is one. Building with like minds is two. We're talking about unity. It's imperative, especially in this society, in this system that we're in. If we're gonna succeed, if we're gonna give ourselves a fighting chance, we gotta work together. And so Strong Wool, it wasn't just me. Strong Wool is me, my partner, our team, us, everybody putting their egos to the side and see what we can build together. And then the third thing is keeping the community at the forefront. I'm not a traditional entrepreneur. It's not about the money. It's not about the bag. It's about the people. It's about moving us forward. And so that's always been part of our DNA. That's always been our focus, is how do we create opportunity? How do we build legacy? How do we build wealth, not just for us, but for our whole community? And so those are the three things that have helped sustain us, helped us to get to where we are, and hopefully will continue to help us push us forward.
Love it.
Yeah, I am Darius Robertson of KDS Enterprise, the co-owner of Vital Lounge in downtown Phoenix. To answer her question, the thing that kind of makes us thrive in Roosevelt Row, I think me and my cousins were kind of, along with my man Ali said, we're kind of different. We don't accept the answer no. We don't accept excuses. So our motto is, between my cousins, if we're going to think about it, we're going to do it. And then we'll adjust from there. If it works, we're going to do everything in our possibility, everything that we can do to make it work. And if it doesn't, we'll go back to the drawing board. But there's never anything that's called failure with us. So that's what we stand by. That's kind of our motto. The reason we've been in Roosevelt Row, we've been down here for the last 5 years. We started off as a hair salon off Central in Portland. The vision was to bring in the Black community, create a space for them to thrive. Our business, the way we structure our business is we always tell everybody, I'm not your boss. You're your own boss. I'm just a hub. I provide the roof for you. I work for you as far as getting leads, providing everything over your head, but you're your boss. We're going to help you build. We're going to do this together. And that's kind of where we thrive. When I see you win, we win. It's automatic. It's going to happen. We ventured into our new business. It's called Vital Lounge within the wellness space. My primary job is I've been a firefighter for the last 12 years. So I'm kind of within that space already. I see a lot of things that especially within the community I serve. I'm off 23rd and Camelback. There's a lot of struggling blacks that don't know that they have resource. They don't know that what mental illness is, or mental wellness, physical, they don't know any of that. They just think they can smoke, drink, and go about life. So that's why I came down here to actually change that. We brought in a lot of our black vendors within our shop to kind of provide an opportunity for the African American community. And that's what we drive towards. A lot of the vendors that we have in-house have a similar background within the space. So I think opportunities, what we create, what we thrive off of, and that's kind of what helps us be within this community to kind of make things work. I just want to give back any way that we can, and I think wellness is the best way to do so. Yeah.
Thank you. And I love that you touched on the significance of, in so many other words, having discipline in your business in order to be able to get the things that you want to get done. So we have a lot of entrepreneurs here with us tonight here in the building. I wonder for both of you, what was surprising that you learned at the start of your business? And you mentioned resources, Darius. What resources or support do you wish that you had at the start of your business? And either one of you all can kick that off. Money?
Obviously, I wish there was some grants out there. Some free money would be nice, but get it from the mud. Like I said, there's no excuse. If you want it to happen, you'll find a way to make it happen. But as far as what resources I wish that we had more of, that would kind of help more people become small business owners, I would say would be the finance. Not everybody has $40,000 chilling in the bank to start something. Everybody has a vision. I'm sure everybody has drive, a vision, a want, but let's be real, the finance is kind of what the holdup for many of us out there. So access to funds.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Yeah, I'd echo that. Just the funds, trying to build something, especially build something to scale, it takes money. But it also takes mentorship, having people who have done what you're trying to do. That's one of the reasons why we're building what we're building with Archwood is looking around. I don't know anybody that's built a multi-million-dollar company. We don't have access to that a lot of times in the community. And so, even that would help to, make things smoother. And then as far as, what one of the surprises was, you hit on it earlier, the amount of pride that our community takes in seeing a successful business. We get the treasured memory with Straw and Wool it was a bunch of members of the dominant culture were in the space, and one of the OGs was in there shopping, and he was like, "Man, y'all getting white folk money?" So, just that level of pride. But then the flip side of it is, people, it puts a target on our back, right? Because they know what we're trying to build. They know, the power of a successful business. And so we do have enemies out there who understand business is warfare. And so we have people trying to shut us down. We got people trying to, attack us and things like that. So that was also, something that was surprising of like the level of seriousness that we have to have when we're trying to build these things.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I will share that I was traveling from Phoenix to DC one time, and I saw someone, as you said, a member of the dominant culture, in one of your hats on the plane. And I was like, hey, I know where your hat is from. We struck up a conversation from that. So there's definitely a lot of pride around it. I will ask, how can we continue to support you all? You also mentioned the importance of mentorship, right? And taking somebody into spaces where maybe they don't immediately have access, which is why making sure you're connected with someone that you did not know when you came in here tonight is important, which is why it's important to complete the barter bar that Jocelyn has for us tonight, so we can see what are the needs that we have and how can I help you, how can we help each other. So how can we as attendees continue to support the amazing work that you all are doing here on Roosevelt Row?
How can we, and I'll open it up even more, just how can we better support each other? We have to be intentional. We have to be really intentional about it. I'm in my radical phase again, and it takes sacrifice, it takes work. If we see people who are building things that we need, who are moving us forward, we have to support it, right? It doesn't always take money, right? But everybody has a role to play. Well, it could be a prayer, it could be a referral, it could be engaging on social media, but it just takes intentional, consistent effort if we're going to build up the things in our community that we need. And when we see people who are doing that, we got to support it. Right. Whatever way that makes sense for you, take inventory of the assets that you have, take inventory of how you can contribute. But we just have to be intentional about it.
He said it. It's really black and white when it comes to our community and what can we do. Just do it. Support each other. I don't care if you're making pretzel sticks or something. I'm going to buy about a few of them, send it to the family, I'm going to share it. So if you see that somebody within our community is doing something, even if it's not your niche or something that you like, tap into it. So my man said, a repost, a share, a support. Even if you don't care, just buy it. Keep the money circulating. So it's very simple. I think we complain a lot about there's not enough black owned this, yes, there is. There really is a lot that we have out here. You just choose to go elsewhere and spend your money elsewhere. So it's as easy as doing it if you really care about the community, say you do.
And that was a mic drop. The short and the long of it is there are a lot of black owned businesses here in the Valley. We have to be intentional in making sure we support it. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Ali and Darius for imparting that knowledge on us. Thank you both so much.